Hi again. I wanted to make another quick devlog now that a lot more progress has been made on the game. This video is gonna cover some of the big things that got added in the few weeks. And this is like stuff that wasn't mentioned in the previous pitch video. Also, I've created a community Discord thing for the game, which is where like playtesting and whatnot is going to be held. So if you're interested in helping with playtesting, or if you have questions about the game, or you just want to hang out and chat, I'll have a link in the description. And I'll also make a post on my YouTube community tab. But yeah, I appreciate all of your support and thank you so much for everyone who's helping out with playtesting stuff. Oh, also, something I wanted to mention. I have commissions open as well as just general donations. I have it linked in my YouTube bio and it should be on the banner as well. But any support from that would be super greatly appreciated. Okay, so first, let's talk about enemy types. There are technically 4 different enemy types in the game. I say technically because one of them is more of an environmental hazard than anything, but still. The main 3 types that you'll encounter are the basic mole, the tree eater, and the wall breaker. At the moment, they're all represented by recolors of the old mole sprite in various qualities. I have an image of what the updated basic mole will look like, and I am currently working on the redesign for the wall breaker. But the next devlog is going to be very like concept art focused, and I'll show off like a bunch of stuff that we've been working on. So now a bit about what all of them do. As a group, their job is to, break in and just cause havoc. The basic moles are average in speed and health, and they'll just head towards any unbroken machinery and try to unbreak it. The tree eaters are the most dangerous to the run. They'll slowly make their way towards the house's tree and try to destroy it, which will just end the run if they succeed. In this game, the life of the player character isn't that important, but the life of the tree is crucial to everything. While the tree eaters are the biggest threat to the run, the wall breakers are definitely the most annoying. They are supportive units that will dash around the house going from wall to wall and try and break them open from the inside and let more enemies in. Now, I hear you. That's only 3 of the enemies. Where's the 4th one that I mentioned? What does it do? Don't worry. I'll cover that in this next section, which is areas. So, I felt that the game needed better pacing and a bit more of that like roguelite style. So what better than to add a couple unique areas? For this version of the game, there will be 3 areas, each with gradually increasing difficulty and some unique traits to each one. So the first area is called topsoil. It's relatively calm and its high up position allows for a bit of light to stream in from the surface. This area is meant to give newer players a bit of like a forgiving environment to get a handle on the game and to give more experienced players a bit of prep time before the game really gets going. This area is still dangerous though. As long as the house is moving, it will still attract moles, albeit in fewer numbers than the later areas. Now, the second area is called Deep Dark. As its name implies, it's a lot darker than topsoil, meaning keeping the dryer running for lights is of utmost importance. Don't ask, the main character is a quirky inventor. Repurposing stuff is very common throughout the house. Now, the moles here are a lot more dangerous as well. This is the first time in the run where wall breakers will start appearing. And the enemy density and spawn rate is a lot higher than before. So this is going to be like the main area where your management skills are going to be put to the test, and the depths won't be as forgiving if you falter. So, an issue that I noticed early in testing was that if overwhelmed, the player could easily just let the washer run out of fuel, let the house stop, and then just clean up the mess that the current enemies have made. It just made it a lot too easy, but way too sluggish and stop and start. I kind of realized that, like, well, the opal was a decent carrot. It wasn't quite enough encouragement, so I needed to add a couple of sticks here and there. And this is where I am introducing enemy number 4. So don't stay put for too long while in Deep Dark. Every second that your engines are off is another second that the lurker gets closer. So if this abominable mole monster reaches the house, it will start attacking with its large, heavy, clawed hands, damaging everything in the house. Thankfully, it's very sensitive to noise and will quickly scurry off once the drill starts again. What better way to encourage players to keep going than putting giant creeping monsters inching up behind them? And now the third and final area is called Gemlight. This area is a lot shorter than the other ones and acts more like a final endurance test. All caution is thrown to the wind as crystallized, sped up enemies swarm the house constantly. And it really pushes the player to maintain just like the barest of necessities to make sure they can make it to the opal at the end. I really liked the direction that the game was going, but I definitely felt that it was becoming more and more roguelite-y, and I think it just needed that extra push to really get it there. So the last major addition definitely changed the game the most, and it was, the roguelite classic upgrades. I wanted to approach upgrades in a slightly different way. The game focuses a lot more on the house itself than the player, so trying to work around that restriction was interesting. The first way was the most obvious and straightforward: inventions. These are your typical, like, flat house upgrades. They improve various machinery around the house and just make the player's life a lot easier with some quality of life. They're usually pretty low risk and vary from, like, speeding up the house to automatically cooking you food to giving you more information on the TV. There are some quirkier, stranger ones in there, but yeah, for the most part, pretty straightforward upgrades. But I did want something a bit, I don't know, spicier than just that, though. Because, while inventions work really well as just pure upgrades, they don't have that added flavor and chaos that we'd really like from roguelites, which ended up leading me to creating the next system of upgrades, the Gnolls. So these little earth spirits are risk-reward incarnate, pretty much. Each of them has a nice trait and a mean trait that are randomly selected and can be seen with their 2 different heads. So, for example, like this one here is caring yet mischievous, meaning that it will repair a lot of your machines and doors over time, but it will also try to send massive lasers at you if you stay in their room for too long. In order to use their powers, you just pick them up, climb back up the tree, and then plop them into one of the different flower pots around the bedroom. Each of the flower pots is correlated to one of the specific rooms, and having it in that specific pot means that that ability will be cast over that entire space. And if you end up getting so annoyed with a specific gnoll that you just want it gone, slap it with your axe and it'll go away. So yeah, that's what I've been working on recently. It's been super exciting to see the game come along, and I'm excited to hear all of your thoughts on this, as well as the playtest stuff as well. Again, link in the description. But yeah, besides that, I'll be working on another devlog soon. showing off concept art and some design thoughts, and I'll do my best to be as active as possible in the community Discord. Thank you all so much for your support. I'll see you again soon.